Good day to everyone. I am Evelyn J.M. Campbell. We are here to discuss to you the competition in business or the business competition and financing your new business. Competition is a fact of doing business. Businesses see competition in the form of price, quality, design, sales, location, and almost every business process. Many people complain about it, many learn from it, and many run away from it. But most don't know the true meaning of business competition, its nature, types, and even importance.
What is business competition?
Competition in business is contest or rivalry among companies selling similar products and or targeting the same target audience to get more sales, increase revenue, and gain more market share as compared to others. The purpose of competing with one another is to increase the revenue of business by increasing the sales and market share. If you are in the business market, then you should be familiar with the strengths and weaknesses of your own business and also with the competitor as well. The thing about business competition is that it always exists in business market. You won't find any field of business where there isn't any competition. However, some fields are less competitive and others are more, but business competition in market is always there. Business competition is usually a fact and profitable market. Many players produce similar products, sell through similar channels, and even target the same audience. This competition, however, can be classified into three types. These are the direct competition, indirect competition, potential or replacement competition. Direct competition. Direct competitors are vendors that sell the same products to the same audience and compete for the same potential market. An excellent example of direct competitors is Jollibee and McDonald's. Both of these companies operate in the same industry, which is fast food, offer similar products, which is burgers and related fast food products, satisfy the same need, use same channels of distribution, which is retail chains, takeaway, and home delivery, and lastly, target the same audience. Indirect competition. Indirect competitors are vendors that sell products or services that are not necessarily the same but satisfy the same consumers' needs. An example of indirect competitors would be Mang Inasal and Pizza Hut. Even though these two vendors sell products that are different, they are considered to be competitors as they operate in the same industry, target the same audience, and satisfy the same needs. They provide the same solution of food, convenience, and proximity to the same target market. But in this case, the products are different. Potential or replacement competition. Replacement competitors, also called as potential competitors, are vendors who have the ability to replace business offering altogether by providing a new solution. The smartphone was a replacement competitor of digital cameras. Even though these two products had different uses, smartphone had the ability to provide a totally new solution to the existing photography need of the consumers.
Benefits of business competition.
Competition benefits all the three parties connected with the offering, business, consumers, and even the market. Here's how. Awareness. More competition in the market about a particular product would spread more awareness. The competition will make the consumer more informed. Sale of the product would also increase because of the demand created by the information and awareness. Price. The price of the product is a very important factor to attract new customers. Competition forces competitors towards economies of scale, which as a result lower the prices of the product. Choice. Every competitor will try to differentiate itself from the crowd of the product by adding some value to it. Consequently, customers would have more choices to choose from in the market. Quality. Many customers are quality conscious when they have many choices to choose a product. then they would always choose a product that is more efficient than the rest. Competition would also compel competitors to put more focus on quality, innovation, and productivity. In the race of competition and standing out from the crowd, companies allocate a separate budget for research and development. As a result, competitors produce innovative products to stand tall in the market.
Disadvantages of business competition.
Business competition isn't always beneficial too. High competition has the following disadvantages. Reduces the market share of the business. A rise in competition makes the business share its market with other players. This is often unwelcome by the existing businesses. Puts pressure on business. Competition puts much pressure on businesses to up their game and result in many of them failing because of their inability to compete with the big market players. Employees feel pressurized. Increased competition adds more pressure to employees to perform well and think out of the box. Many employees can't cope up with this increased pressure. Makes business spend unnecessarily. Competition often makes a business overspend on marketing and other promotional strategies to woo customers, business partners, and employees. This adds to the expenses and is often unnecessary. Customers get confused. Customers are often confused by a large number of similar products available in the market. Competition makes them doubt their choice and often puzzles them.
Business competition examples.
Coca-Cola and Pepsi. When you want to buy a soft drink and visit the grocery store, either you choose Coke or Pepsi. Their taste is almost the same, but you choose one. There are decades of marketing work behind it by both of these companies. Coke versus Pepsi is a great example of direct competition, where both of these companies offer almost the same product, but try to build their market share using marketing and positioning strategies. OnePlus and Apple. OnePlus isn't a direct competitor of Apple when it comes to the pricing of the products. While Apple targets more urban and high-earning individuals, which is iPhone, OnePlus targets more tech fanatic and Android lovers who prefer to buy mid-priced phone. However, with extensive brand-building efforts, their target audiences have started to merge, making these two direct competitors. McDonald's and Burger King. Both of these brands offer burgers to their customers. The question is what differentiates them and makes customers to choose one. It started in the 1950s and 60s, a very famous period of fast food and cars. McDonald's was selling its burger at 15 cents and Burger King came and started selling it at 37 cents. Even though Burger King and McDonald's serve different products, they serve the same target audience and satisfy the same need, making them indirect competitors. Lazada and Shopee. Where do you usually shop online? Chances are Lazada and Shopee are among your go-to sites for buying stuff on the internet. Lazada in the Philippines wins popularity game with 32 million monthly web visits compared to Shopee's 16 million. But Shopee Philippines is quickly catching up with its catchy ad and attractive pricing. With the e-commerce competition in the country getting more intense, the two companies come up with their own ways to win more customers.
Hello everyone! So for today's video, I will be going to continue to report about the competition in business, specifically the importance of business competition and also how to stand out from competition in business. Welcome back to my channel! So, before we will start our discussion, I want to introduce first myself. I am Marcos De Navares, one of your reporter for today. So, for now, I will be going to discuss first the importance of business competition. So, there are 6 importance of business competition that we should know when we build a business. So, the first one is makes the business dig deep into the actual needs wants, and demands of the customers, and makes it more interested in serving them better than other players. So which means that if you have a competition in business, you should assure that your strategies in serving customer is better than the other players, because this is one way to growing up your business into larger if you know how to entertain your customer politely. So the second importance is makes the business realize its actual strength and weaknesses. So first and foremost, you should know on what are the strengths and what are the weaknesses of your business. And you should focus and think deeply from the weaknesses that you have in your business and create a plan on how to turn that weakness into strength. So the third important is makes the business focus on more than just the offering in marketing, branding, customer service, and customer retention. So to this time, one of the customer bases in buying a product is the brand of the product. So there are various customers who are looking good quality of their product, or maybe they should look first where does the product came from. So for instance, the product of A came from USA and the product of B came from China. So we, as a customer, we have the instinct idea that the product of USA is good quality compared to the product of China. So that is how it differs the brand of the product. So the fourth important is keeps the companies on its toes and induce a habit of constantly innovating and making the product better. So we are now in a modern world, and we all know there are a lots of business competition happening right now. But one strategy that you can able to compete others is to become an innovative businessman or a businesswoman. So you should go with the flow of the trends or fashion happened right now. So the fifth important is educates the business about intricacies of how the usual market works, how to position the brand, how to produce efficiently, and how to market sell effectively. So first thing that you should know on how the market works, because through the market you can get the idea on how much the product of the market costs, and by that you will know how to market sell your product effectively and efficiently to your customer. The sixth importance is provide customer with options to choose from while shopping. So to build a business, you must be a lot of options the customer can choose, because this will help you to increase the number of your customers. So that's all the sixth importance in business competition. So now, let's proceed to the second on how to stand out in business competition. So if you are in a business with too much competition and do you want to stand out and win over your competitors, so I'm going to share with you the 5 business strategies that will help you to stand out in your business and beat the competition. So let's start. So business strategy number 1. Highlight one specific feature. So in this strategy, you think of what do you have that others don't. And if you see, focus on that thing and highlight in marketing. Because there is a chance that the attention of the customer will focus on that thing that you highlight. And by doing that, it really differentiates you from the other competitors. Business strategy number 2. Top-notch customer service. So from your strategy 1, you're able to attract your customer from that thing that you highlight. So in this strategy 2, it's time for you to help or support your customer with quality service. So as many said that your customer are one of your best marketing assets. So you should always show your customer with quality service in order the customer will satisfy and appreciate on how you treat him or her. Business strategy number 3. A powerful guarantee. No matter how great your customer service is, if you don't have a customers, you have nobody to serve. So the best way to do is by offering a strong guarantee towards your customer. For just an example, if a customer purchases a product from you and after the customer does not satisfy the effect of that product, so all you need to do is to have a strong guarantee towards your customer, or others say money back guarantee, or you will refund that money to the customer. In short, you will put risk your business for the sake of the satisfaction of your customer. Business strategy number 4, over deliver. So this kind of strategy will be more applicable especially today because it is pandemic. So this is where over delivering comes in. So as we observe, there are several fast food chains who offer delivery, just like Jollibee, Pizza, and etc. So this kind of strategy will be more effective compared to other competitors. They don't offer delivery. Business strategy number 5, be honest. So be honest to your customer. Even your customer order in an online, so provide them what they ordered and what you promised to them. Because your customer are loyal and they trust in you to deliver their order to their home. And being an honest towards your customer, it can be considered as your asset of being a trustworthy person towards your customer. So all in all, be honest all the time. Alright, that's it. Those are the 5 business strategies that could help you to stand out and beat the competition. So I hope you learned something from this video. So thank you for listening and God bless us all. Bye!
Good day everyone. So in this video, we are going to talk about financing new business. But before that, let's define first what is finance. Finance is a vast term that is employed to formulate 2 interlinked actions. First, how is cash organized? It's normally the administration of wealth and different valuables which can be restored in money as per the need. Secondly, how have the wanted budget developed by a business? It's the duty of giving the essential reserves expected by the financial industry to fulfill its financial goals. So there are 2 types of finance, public finance and private finance. So private finance is distributed into 2 sub-finance as personal finance and business finance. So let's define first what is public finance. So public finance is taxed with the revenue and payment of an administration or property. It's that portion of that finance that hovers around the main question of allotment of reserve subjected to fund limitation of the government social elements. There are 4 factors of public finance. First is the public expenditure, the public revenue, and the public debit and allocating. So let's proceed to the 2 sub-finance of a private finance. So first is the personal finance. So personal finance is the sale with economic leadership of a person or a household unit that conducts the govern, save, and expend. While the business finance it deals with a vast span of actions and professions fluctuating around the valuation of wealth and other important investment of the industry to their entire ability. So how do entrepreneurs really finance their business? So according to Scott Shane, a professor of entrepreneurial study at Case Western Reserve University, in reality, 4 patterns prevail in entrepreneurial finance. First is most new businesses are lightly capitalized. So most entrepreneurs don't need much capital to get started. The entrepreneurship in the United States assessment, a survey of a national representative sample of people starting businesses in the United States in 2004 found that the typical American startup only needs $15,000 in initial capital. The second one is much of the money to finance new business comes from their founders. So the most common source of that capital is the founder's own savings, with the majority of business only obtaining money from this source. As a result, more people finance their startups with their own money than get money from banks and friends and families members combined. One is external financing is more likely to be debt than equity. Debt, something typically money that is owned or due, while equity represents the value that would be returned to a company's shareholders if all of the assets were liquidated and all of the company's debt were paid off. So when company gets external capital, it mostly takes the form of debt. A study of young firms in Minnesota, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin found that less than 10% of the firms had received an external equity investment, but half had borrowed money from the external source, even including the equity provided by founders. Most of the money used to fund new businesses takes the form of debt. The Federal Reserve's survey small business finances shows that approximately half of the funding for businesses less than 2 years old takes the form of equity, 47.9%, while the rest, 52.1%, takes the form of debt. So the fourth one is much of the external borrowing is personally guaranteed. So the Federal Reserve survey of small business finances indicates that the owners of between 25.1 and 48.1% of the small business less than 5 years of age personally guarantee their business loans. So with the exact percentage depending on whether the business are sole proprietorships, partnerships, S corporations, or C corporations. In short, unlike the textbook's example of a startup raising external equity from the venture capitalist or business angel, the typical real-world startup is financed by its founder either from their own savings or form that personally borrow or guaranteed. So there are 7 sources of startup financing. So putting all your eggs in one basket is never a good business strategy. This is especially true when it comes to financing your new business. It improves your chances of getting the appropriate financing to meet your specific needs. So here's an overview of 7 typical sources of financing for startups. So the first one is the personal investment. When you're starting a business, your first investor should be yourself, either with your own cash or with collateral on your assets. This proves to investors and bankers that you have a long-term commitment to your project and that you are ready to take risks. The second one is the love of money. So this is money loaned by a spouse, parents, family, or friends. Investors and bankers considers this as patient capital, which is money that will be repaid later as your business profits increase. So when borrowing love money, you should be aware that family and friends rarely have much capital. They may want to have equity in your business. So a business relationship with family or friends should never be taken lightly. So the third one is venture capital. The first thing to keep in mind is that venture capital is not necessarily for all entrepreneurs. Right from the start, you should be aware that venture capitalists are looking for technology-driven businesses and companies with high growth potential in sectors such as information technology, communication, and biotechnology. Venture capitalists take an equity position in the company to help you carry out a promising but higher risk project. This involves giving up some ownership or equity in your business to an external party. Venture capitalist also expects a healthy return on their investment, often generated when a business starts selling shares to the public. So be sure to look your investors who bring relevant experience and knowledge to your businesses. The fourth one is the term angels. So angels are generally wealthy individual or retired company executive who invest directly in small firms owned by others. They are often leaders in their own field who not only contribute their experience and network of contacts, but also their technical and or management knowledge. In exchange for risking their money, they reserve the right to supervise the company's management practices. In concrete terms, this often involves a set on the board of directors and an assurance of transparency. So angels tends to keep a low profile to meet them. You have to contact specialized association or search website on angels. So the websites is the National Angel Capital Organization, or the NACO, is an umbrella organization that helps build company for Canadian angels investors. So the next one is the business incubators. So business incubators or accelerators generally focus on the high-tech sector by providing support for new businesses in various stages of development. However, there are also local economic development incubators which are focused on areas such as job creation, revitalization, and hosting and sharing services. So commonly, incubators will invite future businesses and other fledgling companies to share their premises, as well as their administrative, logistic, and technical resources. So the next one is the government grants and subsidies. Government agencies provide financing such as grants and subsidies that may be available to your business. So getting grants can be tough. There may be a strong competition and the criteria for awards are often stringent. Generally, most grants requires you to match the funds you are being given and this amount varies greatly depending on the grantor. So generally, you will need to provide the following: a detailed project description, an explanation of the benefits of your project, a detailed work plan with full cost, details of relevant experience and backgrounds on the key managers, completed applications forms when appropriate. So the last one is the bank loans. Bank loans are the most commonly used source of funding for small and medium-sized businesses. Consider the fact that all the banks offers different advantages, whether it's personalized or customized repayment. It's a good idea to shop around and find the banks that meets your specific needs. So in general, you should know bankers are looking for companies with a sound track record and have excellent credit. A good idea is not enough. It has to be backed up with a solid business plan. Startup loans will also typically require a personal guarantee from the entrepreneurs. And that ends my discussion. Thanks for watching.
Good day everyone, hi, it's me Relevant, and for today's video, I will discuss to you on how to finance your new business. Financing your business. And financing a business is always a challenging. Here are some of techniques that it may help in financing your new business. The first one is personal source. Money is your own savings or equity. Personal resources can include profit sharing on early retirement funds, real estate, equity loans, or cash value insurance policies. The second one is friends and relatives. Financing sources from parents, relatives, and friends, which the friend or relative receives an ownership interest in your business. The third one is venture capital. They provide capital to young business in exchange for an ownership share of the business. The fourth one is angel investor. Angel investor are individuals and business that are interested in helping small business survive and grow. The fifth one is government grants and programs. Central and state governments often have financial assistance in the form of grants or tax credits for startup or expanding business. The other one is equity offerings or equity shares. The business sells stock directly to the public. It can raise substantial amounts of funds. The other one is initial public offerings or IPOs. Are used when companies have profitable operations, management stability, and strong demand of their products or services. The other one is warrants or bills. A warrant is security that grants the owner of the warrants the right to buy stock in issuing company at a predetermined price at a future date. The other one is banks and other commercial lender. Most lenders require a solid business plan, positive track record, and other plenty of collateral. These are usually hard to come by for a startup business. In commercial finance companies, business does not have substantial personal assets or collateral. A commercial finance company may not be the best place to secure financing. The other one is bonds or debentures. Bonds are different from other debt financing instruments because the company specifies the interest rate and when the company will pay back the principal. And the other one is lease or grant. It is a legal agreement between two parties that specify the terms and conditions for the rental use of the tangible resource such as buildings and equipment. The other one is commercial papers. Commercial paper is an unsecured short-term debt instrument usually issued at a discount from face value and reflects prevailing market interest rates. The other one is bank overdraft. A bank overdraft occurs when someone withdraws more money from their account than is available. This is also referred to as the account being overdrawn. The second to the last is asset-based financing. It is a mortgage of fixed assets such as land, building, machinery, and factory. The last but not the least is private placement. It is the sale of securities to a relative small numbers of select investors as a way of raising capital, usually large banks, mutual funds, and insurance companies. Always remember that every decision you make in business has a financial consequence. That's all. Thank you.